He got a portion in this life to live sweetly. But you are being destroyed day in and day out. You are running around here after some job that they can take from you at the drop of a dime. And that grinding mill is getting low. Soon, everybody gonna be laid off. Everybody gonna be getting laid off, and you know, ain't gonna be no place for you but in the prison as far as the so-called white man's concerned. Ain't gonna be no place for you in the so-called free world. They're gonna throw you in prison like they've been doing to us forever. So we're supposed to be seeking to follow after righteousness in these last days, okay? And keeping justice on our tongue and judgment on our tongue, the judgment that comes from the Lord. So let's talk about the so-called white man. This is Psalm chapter 73, okay? But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My feet were almost gone. My steps had well near slipped, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And who are the wicked? The so-called white man running up and down this land, ruling over you, sending cops after you to destroy you, okay? That's the wicked. And then your brethren who turn their back on their people for some money, for some bread, right? That's the wicked. And we envy after those people. We envy after our oppressors, okay? We envy after the ways that lead to death. We envy after the ways that lead to death. So it says what? But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well near slipped. For I was envious at the foolish. And with envy, what happened? Through envy, death entered into the world. And many find death when they follow after those ways. Go ahead, brother. What you got?
Permission to answer.
Say it again.
Permission to request a question.
Yes, of course.
Okay. I have some friends of mine that know that Edomites and all that.
It's not what?
I have friends of mine that are Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
In my conscience, I want to save them, but I understand that they will be our slaves. However, from what I've understood, it's by their fathers that, well, I can't really do anything about it. But they do denounce the fact of their past. They feel that they're not responsible for what they've done. Mm-hmm. They embrace our culture. In fact, they embody it. They try to embody it.
Yeah.
What can I do for them?
Well, the scriptures say, though, hand join in hand, the wicked will not go unpunished. And if you look at Isaiah, we can read Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21 together. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21.
Isaiah chapter 14,
verse 21.
Isaiah 14 is the 14th chapter of the book of Isaiah in the Hebrew Bible or the Old Testament of the Christian Bible.
Yeah, we got that.
All right, let's start at 18. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 18. I'm gonna go ahead and
you got the actual
okay.
word.
It says, all the kings of the nations. Okay, nations in the Hebrew and the Greek. Nations in the in the Hebrew and in the Greek stands for heathen, right? Nations, that's what it means, heathen, right?
Correct.
So it says, even all of them that lie in glory. Who are lying in glory right now? Who are in glory right now? All the nations around us, okay? All of our nations lie in glory, okay? Basically having much, okay? They are not oppressed like we are oppressed. And that's what I was actually getting at in Psalms chapter 74. So it says that lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under foot. It says, thou shalt not be joined with them in burial. because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. So he's talking about the people who destroyed us, slayed us. The so-called white man is not the only people who had us in captivity. Okay, of course. So we've been in captivity to the Hamites. Okay, people, the dark nations. If you look in the Zondervan Bible dictionary, you can probably even look it up right now. The son of Ham is the father of the dark races. It says the Egyptian, the Ethiopian, not the Negroes.
And also, what about the Africans?
The same. That's the Ham, the
That's
Ethiopians.
the Ham. Yes, okay.
So and some of them, and how did Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus, how could he go into Egypt where they were all natively black skinned? Okay, how could Christ go into that land? How could Moses be hidden among the Egyptians? Okay, and not considered to be Israelite, or he fit in well with Pharaoh, because what, he had dark skin. Yes. That's just common sense. But we just had some of our oppressors come here and try to steal what was being instilled into our people's mind, if it was or if it wasn't, trying to get us to go off in our way, telling us that, he was a Middle Eastern. Listen, we don't have anything already. What's wrong with us taking it? This is from just common sense, or basically like speaking of wisdom or justice. If we have everything taken from us, what is the hindrance of us saying that Christ is black? We going back to our job tomorrow to be oppressed and continue on in our life being oppressed and destroyed. What's wrong with us having in our heart that Christ is black? But they go out of their way to say, no, he was Middle Eastern. No, he was even white. But the scripture says his feet were like fine brass. Yeah. You're a bronze color, okay? But then as if it burned in the furnace. So that means he was black. Yeah. Okay, he had a black skin. This is just a color. We are not colored. We are Israel. Okay? Deuteronomy. Yeah. So Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68 said that we'll be brought into Egypt again with ships. We walk on dry land out of Egypt. So why would we be taken in ships back to Egypt? Okay? So it's speaking of bondage. Egypt is synonymous for bondage. It's the house of bondage, as it said in the Exodus. That's right. So it says, the seed of the evildoers shall be renowned.
Where are you?
Prepare. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 20. 20. Mm-hmm. It says, thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. So they're going to be. Go ahead. Slaughter. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. So that's what you're talking about, the ancestors that did it to us, and they say, well, we not like that, and they took our they are embracing our culture. But you know what? That's not really our culture, because it's oppressive. Okay, that is an oppressive state that we are in when we sit here and we do like the wicked. Okay, we do evil towards our own people. We always try to say, well, blacks need to come together, but that's an excuse, and that's a scapegoat when the issue comes up that our people have long splurred out of their mouth, and they have long, when the issue comes up about us, receiving reparations, or even speaking on the things that we face every day. It's not going to happen. And then even the things that we face every day, the oppression that we face every day, what ends up coming up? Well, blacks got to come together. Or they say, well, what we going to do then? They try to do that. They say those things to try to cut you off and care for your people. Yeah. I'm not from this land. I'm not from this neighborhood. But
rather you did.
But my record ain't all jacked up, but guess what? I have a heart for my people. You don't have to have a jacked up record and all this, that, and the other to care for your people because of the oppression that they going through every day. If we can look at Malcolm X and we can hold him up here, which he was a good brother, but if we can hold him up here, why can't we do that for each other? And then look, it says in Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17 and 18, verse 17, you shall in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. Meaning what? Tell him the right way to go. And your neighbor is who?
Now, that, my dear friend, is absolutely true. However, I think I just lost my train of thought. Come on, get it back. Okay, yes, we can rebuke our own neighbor, but at the same time, you gotta have an open mind to be able to rebuild build them to. Not everybody knows this.
Yeah, that's right.
Nope, not everybody knows this. As working in the hospital and actually coming to the enlightenment of, well, hey,
Yeah.
I'm an old Catholic.
Yeah.
No, I can't even say that no more.
Okay.
They didn't teach us this.
Yeah. I was in church. I was in a Christian church. I was in the Christian church, playing drums and doing all that stuff. I didn't know anything about the Bible, even though my dad was a pastor and a cop. So, I mean, I firsthand see the leading astray of our people. The issue comes when you're making perfect sense, and those same questions that were asked to Christ, and Christ actually had to come to the conclusion and say, "Ye are of your father." How you doing, sis? It comes to the conclusion and say, "Ye are of your father, the devil." That's what we brought Yahushua to utter before his own people. These were Israelites, and he said, "Ye are of your father, the devil." Why? Because what were they doing? What they actually were doing were pushing up against truth, irrefutable proofs. Okay?
More like they tried to confine it, to be honest, and hide it from
They
us.
tried to make the Lord, I'm going to put it plain and simple, they tried to make the Lord's word come back void and the prophet's words come back
It
void.
says it's impossible for his word to come back void.
That's right. We won't be confounded. But guess what? When you have people who feel this way, okay, and when they sit here and they come to you, hey, asking you questions, when it's sincere. It's a sincere question. Your spirit know. You have discernment.
Hey, what are you reading and what is it?
This is the Bible.
The Bible.
Yes.
Living word, actually.
That's right. And let me pull something for you on that one. This is John
What
chapter
kind of
6.
Bible? That's the Holy Bible?
Yeah, King James. I know where you're
King
getting. I know where
James.
you're getting at, but let me ask
I
you.
never read the King James version. I always read the Holy Bible. And I read the Quran. My baby daddy was Muslim.
Okay.
So he was throwing that towards
And
me.
I'm not trying to, I just feel like this might be what you're getting at. I'm gonna ask you then. Be fair and ask. What do you think about the Bible? Do you believe in the Bible?
I believe Jesus died on the cross. I believe he resurrected. I believe in God, and I believe in the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
A lot of stuff in the
I'm
Bible.
happy she said that. I'm happy you said what you said.
It's the Holy Trinity.
And a lot of things in the Bible, it's not true. A lot of people, white folks, pull things out, put things in, burnt a lot of information, and I always said that.
Okay.
I always said that. I always believed that in my heart. But I always believed in those three people that I just said.
Okay.
And people already said, just don't worry about the extra stuff. Just worry about Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit.
Well, this is the thing.
It's like when you hear stories, you don't supposed to worry about all the extra stuff.
But this is the thing. You're supposed to stand for justice. Okay, this is something that the Lord gave you in the last days.
Justice. This is a white man's world.
Mm-hmm.
Justice is really hard to get, actually, for a black person.
But it's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but it's just too much. We've been wanting justice for thousands of years, and we still didn't get it.
So you said this was the living. Excuse me. So you said this was the living word. Let me give you this. This is John chapter 6, verse 63. It says, "It is the spirit that quickeneth; the flesh profiteth nothing." Okay. These words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So, why would they be spirit and life? Because it's able to convert the man, right?
Change.
Now, we have change, exactly. It says, you must be renewed, you must be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I'm not saying that you don't know these things when I'm telling you this. These are good things. You said it yourself. It's the living word. This is what we're supposed to be seeking at the mouths of our priests.
I need to do that too.
This is what we should be seeking at the mouths of our priests. Knowledge and things of the law.
And let me help you out for a second. That what I just did is, dang it, was it? Oh, Book of Daniel, first chapter, health, basically exercise and all that keeps your body young. Read the whole chapter.
I've been trying to stay away from meat, so I eat meat like twice a week
Which
now.
one? Which meats?
Just tilapia and chicken. I try to stay away from the pork. The pork is really bad for you. I don't give a
Foul
fuck.
beasts.
And beef is
so
not
let me-
really good either.
Let me ask you this right here. So this is Micah chapter 2, verse, let me say verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Okay? So it's in the power of their hand to do what? Work iniquity upon their beds. And what people are sitting out here working all types of iniquity upon their beds have the power to practice. Okay? So it says, so it's going to give you the understanding of that. Okay? So it'll give you the understanding of such, which is what? Verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Now, is that what Tyrone is doing to you when he steals from you? In a way, you say yes? Okay. Well, if you look at Hebrews chapter 12, verse 15, you can be profane as Esau, but look what it says. They covet fields, that's land. And take them by violence. Okay? If Tyrone do something to you, who's gonna, all you gotta do is call the cops. Cops be there, maybe. They might. And they get Tyrone. Or they get the next. Sorry. Yeah, that was cool. So they get the next, or what the so-called white man does, he gets the next black man that they see walking around, and they get him. Oh yeah. You know, there was some crimes going around here. Let me check your ID and this, that, and the other. And they actually gave me your description. So we're going to actually go ahead and have you step out, and we're going to put you in cuffs. My dad was a cop. I used to be a, hey, how you doing? I used to be a security.